Hmm. This is an interesting artifact. I wonder if it's used to summon anything. Make it most interesting. Oh, never mind. Ignore that. Just having a bit of fun. Who knows? Maybe I'm scheming. I do stuff like that. Alrighty then. For this month's video, I figured since it's springtime, we invite the spring fatties to come and visit. Very, very, very nice creatures sometimes. Most of them. Yes. And I figured one of the best ways to do that is with shinies. And I've got a good amount of shinies. In crystal form. They do like silver and jewelry and things like that too, of course. But anyway, I figured we'd combine pretty shinies with the art of Zen Gardens. Yes. Gonna make a little one. Well, little's kind of, the size is kind of relative. This one's gonna be kind of big, kind of small. It's like small enough that it can fit on your coffee table, but kind of big, kind of heavy. But shall we get started? I'll show you how to set it up the whole time. Well, I already kind of made the base. The base is already finished, but I'll tell you how I made the base. Pardon, a little itchy. My mane is itchy. Alright, let's move this back a little bit. There we go. Alright. Okay. Alright, so this is the base. And what you want to start off with is the base. Is a good... we gotta preferably be as like natural as we can. Hi, babies. Yes, I know the babies are not out right now because they would chew on my stuff and grab it and chew on it and fly away with it, and we don't want that. So, but I know I did promise that last month because they weren't in videos 2 months in a row, that they would be in the next video. I will put them in at the end of the video after I put the thing where I want it. Yes. But anyway, shall we begin? We want to be as natural as possible. Metal is okay, just no iron, preferably. You know, there are different types of fairies, and not all of them care about iron or nothing. But you know, it's still kind of rude. So try not to have iron stuff. There is types of steel that do not have iron in them. Hopefully, that's the kind of steel that I have. Although I don't have all that much that it's going to go in, but you'll see when we get there. Anyway, now, what you want to start off with is get like a nice big earthen like pot for like plants, right? You know, however big you want it to be. I'm making a fairly large one, but that's just me. And then what I did, mine has a hole at the bottom of it, and so what I did is I put a little invitation to the fairies in it, and you should do this anyway. You bury it in the actual the medium that you're using, preferably sand. I made a little drawing of a fairy. I do not have a spare to show you. And I put them on the bottom of it, and then I put a bunch of rocks that I liked. You gotta make sure it's stuff that you like. But anyway, on top of that to make sure it was blocked off so the sand couldn't get out the hole on the bottom. And then I poured a bunch of sand in. Now, the sand that I prefer to use is sand that's what I would refer to as active, meaning in a place where people go. You know, like on a trail. Like you dig up a little bit on a hiking trail, not in the middle. Be careful. You can do it on the side, so you know, make sure you bury it, you dig out a chunk, and then you put the sides in, and then you take off with it. But I used beach sand. That was near, well, obviously the beach. It wasn't in anyone's way. There wasn't in any danger of anyone, you know, getting their ankle caught in it or anything like that. I was very, very careful where I got it, but because I wanted the energy of people. Yes. But then you put that in there. Don't fill it all the way up. Just fill out most of the ways. Have like maybe, I don't know how much that, about maybe an inch or two, something like that. I guess for space in between the top and the sand. Top and bottom of the sand. So you don't make a big mess. And the baby is ringing the bell at me, so one moment, I will ring the bell back. Give me 1 second, I got a bell special for this. Sillies a bebbers, trying to get my attention. Yes, it's your bell. Yes. That's the bell that I have. They have a bell in their cage, they have a bell over there that's made out of glass, and Yeah, I have this one. I bought this one for myself, so I don't have to get up and ring the bell at them. Although sometimes they'll be sitting on me and I'll be like, "You want the bell?" and they'll grab it with their beak and they'll be chucking around and yelling at it and grab it with their foot. It's all a good time. Might show you to maybe I'll get them to do that later at the end because they do gotta make their appearance. Anyway, so I'll go get the bits. Give me one sec. It's quite heavy for me. Oh, you cannot see it. Set the camera off me. Let me push it so it's nice and safe and it doesn't hurt the lapping tapping. Don't want that. Okay, let's see if this will help. Ah, there we go. There we go. Yes, yes. Now we can see. And you want it, when you pour it in there, you make it nice and flat. A good way of doing that is you pour it in there, and then you go like this with it, and then you turn it, and then you go like this with it again. And then you keep doing that until it's good and flat. And the babies want another bell ring, so excuse me for a moment. Ring the bell for the babies. Yes, you has my attention. I love you. You can ring it again if you like. Okay, so this is going to be our very, very dirty canvas for the prettiness and fun and what we want to do. I'm just gonna shuffle my stuff around and getting our makeshift shovel. I sadly do not have a tiny, tiny shovel. And when I mean tiny, tiny shovel, I don't mean like a trowel. I would mean like a shovel that's about that big and go. But we do got another one of my sculpting tools. So, we can just go with this side and, pat down. So that's what we're going to use this for. This is going to be our makeshift tiny shovel for when we need it. Now then, let's do this. I might put it up to the camera every once in a while so you can see certain things. But I will be able to show you what I am doing. Now, I recommend the way I would do this, the way I'm going to do this, but the way I would recommend it is, pull you up so you can see me again. A big old goofy ass face. Anyway, is you put the bigger things in first, that way, like bigger stones or bigger whatever, in first, so that way you know how much room you have afterwards to do, whatever you want. And of course, this is just my iteration of it. Of course, you'd want to tweak it if you want to make it pretty. Make it your way of being pretty. Yeah. And I'm going to use, like, crystals, and I'm also going to, there's also just a couple of things, there's cool looking rocks in here. Not very many of those. The ones that I do know the names to, I will say the names to them. But if I don't know the name, then I don't know the name because it's probably just a rock that I found that I thought was cool. Okay, then. One of the things that I always really, really liked. Ouch, my head itches. Pardon again. Curse you. Took a shower and then my head itches. Yay for dandruff. Anyway. Is I always really like those crystal trees with the steel and it's twisty and you have the rocks in there as the foliage and that kind of stuff. And I have 3 of them. And of course, I made them a little bit more me, and I'll explain each one as we go. And that's what we're going to start with. We're going to put those 3 in first. Pardon with the itchy in an awkward spot. But of course, I had to tweak them. I had to make them a little bit more me, because I am silly like that. But anyway, shall we begin? I will introduce you to the trees first, and then I will place them. Because then I'm going to move the camera back down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now the first tree is quartz geode, white quartz geode. All 3 of them are white quartz geode. Some of them are a little bit more white than others. And then of course I added 7 little like dangly bits. Now these rocks up here. Ooh, there's little yuckies on there. Sorry about that. Some of the yuckies snuck by me. Anyway, this is. I'm gonna put them nice and close to you. See, here we go. These little dingly bits. They are carnelian. They are good stone. They are said to, I believe, help with like forgiving and forgetting, that kind of thing. Or so they say. And this, of course, is the quartz base. Check that out, all sparkly. This light doesn't really do it very much justice. I apologize for that. They look better outside when you can see when the sun. It is not sunny today. It is very cloudy outside. I've been doing this outside for the extra pretty, but can't get any extra pretty. So meh. Sleep is very long. Anyway, I probably will take off the blue shirt in a minute. Before we start digging around, we'll take off the blue shirt because I have a black shirt underneath. Anyway, and this, of course, is garnet right here. It is the birthstone of January. And I was born in January. Yes. I don't know. I don't remember the quartz is for clarity, but I don't remember the stuff for. I don't remember the stuff for all of the metaphysical type stuff for all the stones. So forgive me for that. You think I would know my own birthstone though, but no, I don't. Okay, that's the biggin. That's biggin number one. Biggin number one. Alright. Biggin number two is again quartz geode base. Not all the same geode. I seriously doubt because I bought them at separate times. And this is clear quartz, and this is rose quartz, but it's very, 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 very pale, so it might not look pink. That's supposed to be for love. Now, you'll notice that we have a little dragon. Little silver dragon. He is very tarnished. He is very tarnished silver dragon. But that is okay in this particular instance. You give him a good wipe down, and whatever tarnish comes off, and whatever tarnish doesn't come off, gets to stay put. Now, it's okay that he's tarnished because you want him to stand out so people can actually see him. And be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And, and I have heard, I could be wrong, so, anyone wants to correct me if I'm wrong. Dragons are said to guard the land of fairy. And possibly some cultures. I've heard that somewhere. I don't remember where I heard it, so don't quote me. And if I'm blatantly wrong, inform me. All right. Not trying to ruffle any feathers. I got burbs. I don't want to ruffle feathers. Trust me. It's not a fun thing to do. Just because my little guys are tiny doesn't mean they can't put a little bit of a hurting on you. The bigger the bird, the more the hurting. That beak is sharp. Anyway. Yeah, so here you go. Sparkly. Show the sparkles. And show the pretty quartz. Again, it doesn't really look pink. I know it doesn't really look pink on the, it's like super, super pale pink, so it may not even really qualify as rose quartz, to be honest with you. It might just, And here's our little dragon friend. He is just hanging in his tree. Oh, it's the back of him. Pardon, I showed you his booty. The booty. And here he is in all of his tarnished glory. I think he looks kind of cool tarnished. It's not really coming up on camera, but it has a kind of a nifty pattern on him. But hanging stuff off the trees is just what I did. I thought it would be kind of cool because it kind of had a little too much empty space for my liking, but that's just me. And you don't have to use a bunch of the trees in your garden. I would recommend at least one. But again, I've got a big open space here, so I gotta fill it with something. Right, that's tree number two. I gotta put him over here. I'm actually gonna take off my my blue shirt now. Again, I have a black one underneath. Pardon for a second. See, still perfectly covered. Still perfectly covered. Still perfectly legal. Nice big black shirt. Doing a little adjusting. You can see my tattoos. Well, at least two. Here's one. And then here's the other one. You can see this one. And I have one on this arm that I don't feel like messing around with the shirt at the moment. But more likely I end up seeing it in a future video if I'm wearing a tank top or something. Alright, third one. I believe is blue jasper. I think. I mean, I suppose it could be lapis. But I was told it was blue jasper. But it's pretty. And it's, of course, on a... Again... Really? Sorry, you're going to do me dirty? Again, it's on the quartz geode. Or a quartz geode. And what I got here now is two things hanging from this tree. Two little diddly bops. There's some yuckies in here. Hang on. Sorry about that. Oh, it's been a little bald patch. Oh, anyway. I got some little doodads hanging from a tree. Both of them are opal glass. And one of them is a very small pendulum. and the other one is a very small, well, just kind of a shape, really, and it's got some silver fittings on it. Curse you, evil throat. Curse you, dried throat. Not sick or anything, just annoying throat. And anyway, sorry, a little yucca's on there. Um, we used to have them both as necklaces, but they were kind of just too small. They just tickled funny on me. So I figured, hey, I know what to do with you. I'll put you on my tree. And I put them on the tree, and I think they look quite darling. This one, they're both presents actually. This one and this one. This one was from an old lady I used to live in the same residence as, no relation to me. And this one was from an old boyfriend. And we're buddies now. It's all good. I'm one of those types of people who can be friends with their exes. And he later got married and he's quite happy, so it's all good. And I haven't seen him in a while. Anyway, we don't live in the same town anymore. It was years ago. Also, anyway, I will bring them closer so you can see. As always, a powder sparkle, sparkle. Again, the light doesn't really do justice. Now this guy, hang on, he's wiggling. He's a wiggling. It has a tiny butterfly on it. I don't think it's not really coming up on the. Oh wait, hang on. Oh no, I dropped it. Oh, I turned it wrong. Psst. You see the butterfly? I don't think you can. No, it's not really. Oh, you can kind of see it. Not very well. Apologies for that. This camera is not super good. This doesn't have any designs on it. I'm just going to get you an up close on it. Whee! There you go. It's a very tiny little pendulum. You can kind of see the darn butterfly. Sort of. Vaguely. It's hard to kind of see him. You can see like a little bit of his wing. But, I didn't even know the butterfly was there until I got super, super close to it when I originally saw it. So there you go. Those are the three big ones. Now we're going to put the three big ones, the three biggest ones. They're going to take up the most space. I do got some other big ones, but we'll get to them when we get to them. Some were present, some were not. Sorry, I'm itching. Curse you, dandruff. Curse you, dandruff. Ah. Alright, anyway. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to be weird or anything like that. Okay, so. Here's the fun part. We get to put the trees into the sandiness. Our sandy canvas will now start to be painted and made beautiful. Ah. Alright, anyway. Yeah, I know, I'm insane. That had to be tested. I'm nuts! Anyway. I'm harmless, though. Don't worry about that. Unless you're someone that hurts a pupper. If you're a pupper, not so harmless. Not that I've ever actually had to do anything like in that particular vein, but no one messed around and no one had to find out, basically. Anyway, let's do this. We'll take our little digging implement. Diggy diggy hole. Sorry, I really like that song. I am a weirdo. I love the diggy diggy hole song. Sadly, I am not a dwarf, but I am digging a hole. Diggy diggy. Alright. Now we can move some of the sand so it's pretty quote unquote flexible. But it's still good to kind of like dig it a little bit. So we can get kind of like an even kind of thing. I put mine right here. And then you fill it back in, obviously. Around the little guy. Or well, big guy really. Squish him down a little bit more. Because we just want the sparkly part to stick up. We don't really care about the not as pretty stuff underneath. Then we just kind of smooth it out. Just smooth it out. Just smooth it out. Let's give it a smootheroo. Put in the comments to get what movie I'm kind of very vaguely alluring to. Now I face the prettiness of the butterfly towards me, because I'm sitting in this sitting in the place where the observer of the thing would be sitting, preferably. So yeah. So just dig it in there, pat it down, smooth it out a little bit, and then and when it's big, something big like this, like if you're doing a little one, just plop it right in the middle. I would do, or do it a little off center. It's how to make it have like a natural-esque look. Me, I'm just gonna do it like a triangle, so I'm gonna space them out as much as I can. Next one will be the tree with the dragon on it. So I'll put him about here. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, I see, yes. Dig it out a little bit so it's not like super packed in there. And there we go. And then put that down. This one has more of a weird kind of shape to it, so you got to be a little bit more careful. So that's one of the things you got to be aware of is the shape of the geode on the other side of the geode. Like how would it sit? So you can so how would it sit like on your table if you have it sitting there on a table? So you can kind of sit so you can kind of make it like be kind of flat. Now I'm digging a hole stuck in my head. I did that to myself. That's one of the glories of YouTube. I can just look it up later. There we go. So these aren't the only things you want to put in your. I'd recommend at least one. Though, again, I know I do sometimes have a tendency to repeat myself a bit. Oops, he's a little tilted. Let's turn it slightly. Come on, darn it. Being a little brat. Sorry, I'm being a little finicky about this. La ta ta, la ta ta la ta ta ta. What? And just, of course, be careful. Try not to get the sand on the top of the crystals, because then you have to wash it off, and because you want the crystals to show, nice and sparkly. The point of this is to be sparkly. Yeah, sparkly. Just call me Senior Sparkle Bridges for today's video. And this one doesn't really have a back or a front, so you can just plop them right. I'm gonna plop them right in front of me, right about there. I'm gonna have to make sure there's a little bit of space in between, like the edge of the thing and the edge of this thing and the edge of these. So they're so they have a little bit of support, so they don't topple over when you're like if you ever need to move the thing. Of course, I'm not really looking forward to having to put this where I want it because it is heavy, even without the extra stuff. So that's gonna be a little pain in the booty. Little pain in my booty cheeks. Smush it down. Yeah, sand is easy to work with. That's one of the reasons I recommend using sand. Of course, you can use dirt too, but I don't know. It doesn't have the same. It's just not the same, man. It's just not the same. But sand does, it's coarse and gritty and gets everywhere as sand does. I'm not even a Star Wars fan, and I know that quote. It gets everywhere. Which is true. It's a true statement. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I can understand the appeal though. I'm not hating on Star Wars. Not really. I'm kind of spoofing on it a little bit, being silly about it, but I'm not like oh, I hate Star Wars. I'm not doing that kind of crap. Don't worry. All right. Anyway, so we got our 3 trees. Here, I'll step out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. It's up against my black shirt, so you can't see it as good. The blue thing you saw was obviously my sweater with the cutouts. Alrighty then. Just wanted to make sure you can see it. I know you can't see it in all its glory at the moment. I'm just trying to, maybe I should see it a little bit better. Yeah, now you can see it in all its glory. Well, it's pre-rendered glory. Pre-rendered. Very bad video game joke there. Okay, now I'm back. Now then, here's some more fun parts. One of the things here's going to be some fun stuff. Some of the stuff is going to be somewhat refined, some of it is not. One of the things I think you should also have is something that works as like a standing stone. like like in ye olde like ye olde England or ye olde Scotland or ye olde Ireland. So what I've got is a nice big old piece of jasper. It's like white jasper, I believe it's called. I could be wrong, man. Any rock hounds want to fill me in? It's like the perfect shape to be a standing stone. I think you should have a standing stone in your thing. I don't know. I think it would look good. I think it makes sense because again, it's something that the fairies can inscribe stuff on, messages to each other and whatnot. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. I like fairies a little too much, probably. All right, and of course I'm going to turn this now, so that you get to see my view of the thing, not just the butt view of it. Oh, turn it too much. Sorry. Ah, it's trying to get away. Making sure the computer is in the right spot so I don't accidentally wreck the damn thing. Get a little closer to you guys. I'm going to put the standing stone. Like one of the places you can do is you can put the standing stone right in the middle, which would make sense. That is one way you can do it. I'm going to put mine kind of in the back. And you just stick it in there. And you just be careful. You pack it in a little bit. You smooth it off. You have to smooth all of them off. Get our little makeshift diggy hole shovel. And of course, I'm trying to keep the sand surface kind of smooth, which is kind of dumb to do at the moment because obviously I'm still working with it. But I want to see if I can catch any fairy footprints and any fairies showing up. Although they would probably hover over it just to troll me and make sure. Trolls. Anyway, just troll me just to make sure it's like, oh yeah, we visit your garden, but you're not allowed to know. Fairies do like to mess with people in silly ways. I wouldn't be surprised if that would be one of them. Alright, I don't know if trolls are a member of fairies. Anyway, I think you should have a standing stone because that thing's cool. A lot of people would probably put it in the middle. I kind of put it at the end so it has like a place where they can walk to and do their thing. Another thing I think would be a cool idea if you can get them is you have like standing pillars of crystals. It doesn't have to necessarily be refined by humans. Just have like the actual shape, just the shape of towers, kind of like vague towers. That's what I'm gathering. I have a bunch of stuff here, all off camera over here. Stuff that I prepared beforehand. Now some of this is stone. One of these is glass. 3 of these are stone. 2 of them are refined by humans. 1 of them is not, and 1 of them is glass. So it's obviously refined by humans. I got a piece of this was from a necklace and it broke. I dropped it. I dropped it and it broke and I was very upset. But I ended up able to salvage most of the crystal and I was able to salvage the chain that it came on and I ended up using that. I was able to use that for another necklace. But this one is a piece of tiger's eye, like the brown kind. I don't know if you can really see it very well. Doing its cool little shiny thing like it do. But it's broken at the end. There you go. It's a little tower. I propose we put the tower. I'm going to put the tower next to the standing stone. We're going to have the towers near the standing stone. There we go. Put it right there. Tower number 2. This one was not broken. This one was bought by the way it was made. And they don't all have to be the same size either. If they're like ones that are made by made by people or refined by people, I should say. This one is a piece of amethyst. I was looking up in the light. Piece of amethyst. It's not super dark purple, but it might look like it is from your guys' angle. Apologies for that, but it is purple. I'm trying to show you the purpliness. There we go. There's some purpliness. This is one of those stones. I don't know what it is about amethyst. I do love me my amethyst. Don't get me wrong, but it's a stone that seems to follow me. I have a lot of it. It seems to be attractive. Now I'm going to put it kind of in the same vicinity as our standing stone, but he's going to be a little bit forward of it. And he's going to get smushed down a little bit until he's good and there we go. Yeah, there you go. Kind of the same size. Oh, he's a little tilted. That's a little annoying. I don't know. No tilting. No tilting. That's why he looked short. But he's not very tall anyway, so. Why is he? I'm not really exactly sure. mm. Pardon. Ooh, my nose is all stuffy all of a sudden. Ah. It's kind of rainy and wet and dreary here, so there you go. His third piece is just a cool looking rock that I found. It might be. It's got some quartz in it. It might even be an unrefined pale rose. I'm not really sure. It's also got some black lines in it, so yeah. It was all right looking when I found it. I thought it was kind of cool. This one is obviously not refined by humans. It's a trunk, cartridge bunch. Here we go. I'm gonna put him. Why is it a him? I don't know, but it is apparently. I'm gonna put this one over here. I'm gonna have him standing up under the tree. Under the tree. There we go. There we go. And pad it down. Yeah, stop doing that, Rory. You do it. You have enough time to do that later. All right. Okay, another thing I suggest that you have for, because why not, is a geode, like a full geode, like any color you like, obviously. It's your oyster. You might as well shuck it the way you like. And I got one that's here. It is pre-broken, but I'm just showing it to you. But I'm just showing you it's the same half. Now, of course, you'd use and then you'd use one that's like this, like you got both halves at the same time. And what was that? A little bit of it fell off the thing. Onto the laptop. Oh, we can't have that now, can we? Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. Get it off. There we go. Got most of it off. It's okay. Just a little bit of powdery stuff from the outside. So I did try to kind of scrub off as best I could, but might have to later take it into the thing and get a little gentle brush and scrub it off under the sink. Now him, where should we put him? Should we put him? I kind of want to put him in the middle, but I feel that would take up a lot of space. So I think we're gonna put him back here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good actually. That looks kind of neat. I like that. It's got kind of like places for you to sit if you're a fairy. I imagine they would bring pillows. 1 second, I gotta ring the bell for the babies. Ring the bell for the babies. There you go. Aw, they're looking at me. Don't worry, you'll get to see them. You'll get to see them. Alright. Anyway. Didn't even get to choose my next little rocky victim. Hey, ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring, ring, ring. One of the things I do highly encourage in this project. Oh, wait, no, I have another victim, actually. Oops. I forgot the piece of glass. Here's Mr. Piece of Glass. Use a nice chunk. I think I found him at a hospital. And he was part of, like, instead of gravel, they had glass. They don't have it like that anymore. They have it all paved and stuff. And I don't know, I took a liking to this particular chunk. I think it was, like, the biggest chunk that I saw. So I grabbed it. It was outside of the hospital. No, one piece of glass, no one's gonna notice. No one's gonna get crap. I'm not sure why they were doing that with glass at the time, but they were. All right, where shall we put this guy, huh? I think I'm gonna have him standing up. So I kind of like the whole standing up look. I'm gonna put this guy. I do like being able to see it from like your guys' angle, so I'm seeing from both angles. My angle is of course the back of it, and or what I would consider the back of it for the logic of building this. And I'm also going to see it from the front because the camera. Anyway, I think I'm going to put this one. Where shall I put him? I think I'm going to put him right here, actually, where I was thinking. Yeah, the tough part about putting the big stuff in first, though, of course, is kind of finagling around it. Kind of like they have like a path of like ancient ruins that they gotta walk through to get to the ancient ruin of the standing stone, which is kind of what I'm going for. Like I'm a broken pillar from a long uh, broken archway or something, and the rest of it's buried underneath or something. I don't know. Okay. Whew. All right. So sorry, I actually almost forgot about that. One of the other things I do recommend that you put in one of these, is I get a rock that's egg shaped. That doesn't necessarily have to be like a refined by humans rock. It could be like a little river rock or something. But it's got to be an egg shape. Why? I don't really know. It just kind of feels right. You know, it's like a little Zen garden. You know, and Zen gardens, of course, gardens in general very much like symbolize like rebirth and things. So that's kind of why I would recommend having a little rock shaped like an egg. And this one is a non human made one. I found it somewhere, river river more than likely. I don't remember because I've had it for a while. But here you go. You can check him out. I think it's kind of neat. And sorry about the birds yelling at us. Yeah. Babies. Stop yelling, babies. Stop yelling, babies. You good, babies. You're gonna come out at the end of the video and say hi to the peoples. You know your peoples love you. Alright, now you can put him anywhere you really want. He doesn't have to like be in the middle or anything. I would also recommend having him lay down. But try not to have him hidden behind anything too big. That's why you gotta be kind of careful with the placement. Of course, this isn't the final placement. You can rearrange this anytime you like. You get bored or it gets really dusty. You take the whole thing apart and everything gets really gross and dusty. Take everything apart and then you redo the whole layout. Alright, I'm going to put him right here. Yeah, right here. Kind of near the edge. He's living on the edge. Alright, got some little chips. Little chips going last. There's another piece of that same kind of stuff from earlier that stands up over here. There he is. There's another piece of that. He's kind of pyramid shaped. Kind of like him. It's kind of like something you see in an actual Zen Garden. So, you know, I'm going to plop him. Yeah, try not, if you have the same stuff, like repeats, with the exception of maybe a geode or something, but if you have like repeats of rocks, try not to have them too close together. Like, preferably have them like on the opposite sides of the thing. Stick him in there. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, and here we go. And amethyst apparently helps with drunken thoughts too, by the way. I should have mentioned that on the earlier. But I do got some more amethyst to stick in here. So it works. Like I got this piece. This guy was refined by humans. I've had him for years. I even tried to give him away a few times to other people. Not in a, oh, I'm trying to get rid of it sort of way. But in a, well, that person will like this sort of way. And somehow it always ends up coming back. So it's like, okay. I'm going to put him. And yes, I know there's a big bald patch over here. Don't worry, he's not going to be, that patch ain't going to be bald for very long. I think I'm going to put him. I'm going to put him right up front. This is like a little skinny area. So I'm going to put him right there. I'll lift it a little bit for you so you can see him. There he is. There he is. Whew. This video is getting a little long. Sorry about that. Okay. I do have another piece of amethyst. It's a chunk of amethyst geode. He was a present too. He came from a person who gave me a future thing that I'm going to show next. This chunk of geode. He's kind of a wild guy. I'm going to put him over here. I'm going to bury him a little bit too. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other stuff. Wait. Or would he be a background for? Could he be a good background for this? Hang on. Would he be a good background for this? Nah. He's not big enough to be a background for the standing stone. Well, that would be a kind of a cool idea. Where's our little guy? There's our little guy. It's just a little guy. Doob. Well, we're not really digging a hole, but I have that song in my head, so. Smooth, 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 sandy sand, smooth, sandy sand. Hey, I got the song stuck in my head. I might as well use it for something. All right, here we go. Okay. Okay. The next thing was the present that I got from was also when I got this guy. I got this big chunk of dude. He is a piece of clear quartz, big clear quartzy spiky guy. He for some reason has pink stuff on his butt. See? I don't know why he's got pink stuff on his butt, but he has pink stuff on his butt. So we're going to bury the pink stuff that's on his butt. That's what this big bald patch is for. It's for this guy. So we have him sticking up. Oops. Oh. How about you, some guy? Get in there. He still has kind of the pinkness kind of gives him a kind of a cool, like, two-tone kind of dealio. So it's okay, and I had to make sure he wasn't blocking Mr. Egg, which he was there for a second. McKenna has that. McKenna has that. I don't know why I'm suddenly Scottish. I'm not making fun of the Scots. I'm making fun of myself. Because for some reason I suddenly started talking kind of Scottish-esque. Scots are cool people. And their Celtic philosophy is very much different from the Irish Celtic philosophies, apparently. I am not an expert at all. And I do not fancy myself an expert at all. There we go. There we go. There's another one. That's pretty cool so far. All right. What else we got? We got a couple more chunks. I have this big black one. It might be a chunk of obsidian. I'm not exactly sure. Speaking of which, I actually do have some actual obsidian to put in here. I forgot to grab it before putting the video on. This is a nice big chunk of stuff. We can put him... Where can we put him? We can put him... We'll plop him... We can plop him right under here. Because the black and the red. Come on, it's a classic combination. Okay, stop wiggling around, Carnelian. Here we go. Also got a piece of green fluorite. And I'll show you that. Sorry, I'm just being weird. I am a weirdo. Okay. Getting kind of full up here. Sorry about that, but I will go get those other two things in a minute. Put him right here. Obviously, I'm going to bury him a little bit. So he's not, like, totally in the way. Here we go. Very carefully smooth the sand a little bit. Make sure it doesn't get everywhere like sand wants to do. Sand has been in the way like that. There we go. And little man-made stuff can't really hurt. So this one is a piece of I believe it's referred to as goldstone, which makes no sense to me because it's very, very dark. But it's very, very sparkly, and it's not even stone. It bugs me that it's goldstone. It's not even stone; it's glass, and it's obviously man done. I don't know if this isn't really showing off the sparkly, but it is very sparkly, like the night sky kind of thing. You got a little sparkly there. Sorry about that. Let's see. There we go. You can see it a little bit. Sorry, it's not really... there we go. A little more sparkly. But yeah, the whole thing is sparkly like the night sky. It's like super dark black or purple. And it's got all these cool little flecks of stuff and nonsense in it. And we're going to plop it... It's got a pyramid shape. Kind of neat. We're going to plop him over... Where are we going to plop him? Let's plop him over here. We'll plop him over here. Well... Nah, it's a little too close. There we go. Pop him right there. We'll smush him down a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Ooh, just a little bit. Ah. Okay. Okay, I know I'm silly. I got another piece of this. This is just chunk. Bleh. This is just a chunk of quartz that I found one day. Where shall we put you? Shall I put you behind here? No, we shall not. No. I don't know why I don't know where the weird French accent came from. I like the lot of the sticking them up things. But anyway, my nose is quite annoying this morning today. All right, we can put this guy over by the dragon. Why not? Squish him down, of course. A little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. There we go. There's a hair. There's a hair right here. It's bugging me. Come on, you silly fern thing. Gotcha. There we go. Oh, I think it landed in the sand. Oh well, I can't see it anymore. Who cares? Okay, we got some other little chips of things, and I'll get to those in a second. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get the actual, what's it called things? Obsidian things. Right. Hi, guys. Where are you? Ah, there you are. Shiny. Yeah. Yes, I see. Okay, then we got our obsidian. Our actual obsidian. I know this is actual obsidian. These are obsidian arrowheads that I bought not so long ago. Thing number one. Spin it around. Ooh, there's a little sticky on the back. Hang on. Oh, can't have that now, can we? Stupid stickiness. We can't have the sticky. Sticky, not good. No, come on, it's so sticky. There we go. Same one, just the back of it. Volcanic glass. That's what obsidian actually is. And then thing number two. This one's the back. We'll start off with. Why not? And then zip them around. And here's the quote unquote front. And it has some little nick on it too. I figured we'd put these in here too, because I don't really have a use for them, along with the little chips. These are little chippy chips. One of them is a broken off piece of, looks like a little bit of green fluorite, little tiny guy. Little tiny guy. He doesn't look very green on here because he's super pale, but that's okay. Little tiny guy, and a little tiny guy of. This one's another piece of rose quartz. It's a little bit more pink, so maybe the pink will actually come up. Rose quartz is for love, by the way. Apparently fluorite is a good fairy stone too, by the way, or so is said. What were you? You're a piece of carnelian, I think. It's a piece of carnelian. It's not made all. It's not like shiny or anything. It's just a little chunk. So it's an unrefined chippy. And you, I think you're a blue jasper, like the stuff that's on my tree back here. Well, this tree with the guys, but he's not like refined and made shiny. He's a little chippy. The blue doesn't come up super well on my camera, or well, my laptop's camera. Yeah. But with chippies like these little guys, I would just kind of toss them around a little bit. These guys, we're actually gonna have them. We'll just chuck them in here. Here we go. Just chuck them in here kind of somewhat randomly, but be careful so you don't like lose them / break them. But there we go. A little chippy. And a little chippy. And a little chippy. There we go. And one more little chippy. Chippy. Where we go? Chippy. Well, I am kind of being somewhat random, but it doesn't exactly work. Chippy. There we go. Okay, so we kind of landed behind the big piece of quartz, but I can see him, and most of the time you're going to be seeing it from above anyway, not really from the sides unless you really look. What do you first think about it when it comes to these things? But here is the arrowheads, and I think we should stick these in here. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Oh. Here we go. Yeah, they're behind. This is in front. I'm gonna move this little guy a little bit because he's a little too close. And then, of course, and that's all I got. And there's a nice little amount of space for any little fairy feet to come a wandering in. So let's smooth this out. It's not all lumpy because we do not want lumps. Lumps and bumps. And bumps and lumps. Whichever order you like. But yeah. And then, of course, I don't have any selenite that goes selenite, as I like to call it, but selenite is the proper pronunciation, apparently. But if you want to like purify the crystals, you should have some of that. Preferably put some of that in there. I don't have a chip of that anymore because my birds kept going after it, so I had to put it in. Guys, stop yelling! You're gonna come out in a minute. They kept going after that particular piece, and I didn't want them chewing on it and getting it in their tummy, so I put it in a bottle that's a protection bottle that's supposed to. It's said to protect the dwelling. And selenite is very, as they say, is said to be a very purifying stone. So, and it purifies other stones. I do have a big, like a wand-esque chunk that's going to sit. Pardon, it's going to sit in front of this and it's going to touch it. So, it'll touch it. It'll purify it via that. If one believes in that sort of thing. Of course. I'm not trying to recruit anybody for anything like that, so don't worry about that. I'm not trying to recruit anybody. I'm just spitting out fun little factoids that I know of or I've heard. If anyone wants to correct me, fine. Just don't be mean to me. Because if you're mean to me in the comments, I will be mean right back. Just telling you that right now. Don't start something you can't finish, basically. I prefer not to argue in the comments, to be honest with you. I really don't want to do that. Okay, wow. This video is running a little long. I apologize for that. But, here we go. Here's the pretty in all of its pretty glory, and you got to watch me build it. I think it came out quite nice. Yeah. Despite my nose being very gross right now. It's full of all sorts of goop. Not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. I'm sorry that my camera could not pick up the proper sparkliness of the stuff. Of course, my light doesn't help because it doesn't sparkle right either. Again, if it was sunny outside, I would have done this. We would have done this outside, and you would have been able to see the sparkliness. So that's better. But anyway, yes, good to have different rocks. Obsidian is good for protection. I almost forgot. Or so I was told. But yes. But anyway, I will do a little spin so you can see. Pull it out a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's spin it so you can see the whole thing from all angles. Silly thing. Does not want to do a little spin of the whole thing. And this is the angle that I was seeing it from while I was building it, and seeing it from your angle, of course, as well. Because of the camera angles. Of course, the fact that I had two camera angles was quite helpful. So then I know nothing was being too dangerously blocked. Well, I also have an above view as well from where I'm sitting. But there you go. Oh, there you go. The above view is quite interesting. I sadly do not have one of those rakes. I did have a couple of those little rakes for Zen Gardens, but I sadly do not have anymore. Yeah, I can speak English. You know the video's been running too long when the narrator can't speak for crap. Anyway, that is a way to make a crystal Zen Garden for your fatty friends, if you have them, or if you just want to zhuzh up your little space for this spring. And I will shake the bell at the babies in the bed. Shaking at the babies. That's what I should probably put in here, is probably a tiny, tiny bell. For the fairies to ring and let me know that they're here. I sadly do not have a tiny, tiny bell for that. I do not know where to get any. Anyway, sorry this took so long. Oh, one of the other things I did get for this, but I did not put it in here, is one of those eggs. One of those glass opal eggies that often look different colors if you look at them from different angles. My camera isn't really doing it justice. But I don't know if there's enough real room in there for it. And I don't think it would look really all that. I don't think it would look really all that great. In a moment. Bebe, stop. You're gonna be out in a minute. I just gotta put the thing back where it's gonna go. Because the stuff was there before, so yeah. I was all prepped and ready to go. And I decided to pull it out and put it in a good spot. Alright, put this back over to where I put my scoping tools, but yes. There we go. Yeah, put it over here. There we go. Okay. Anyways, yes. I'm gonna go put this back and then I'll let the birds out and you will be able to see the babies. Just give me one moment if you would. I'm gonna turn it so it's the way I want it. Oh wait. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Well, there we go. Well, yeah, I'm gonna turn it the way I want it, so I can just place the thing back where I want it, the way I want it. All good in the neighborhood. Okay. There we go. Just gonna move this. Oh, it's heavy. Holy spook, this thing is heavy. Spook. Spook, 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 spook. It is heavy. There we go. There we go. Oh, Bad, don't laugh at me. Ow. Okay, and then I'll fix the camera. And who let the burbs out? Me did. Who let the burbs out? Me did. Here's the babies like I promised. Here the babies like I promised. Oh, one pooped on camera. Oh, two poop on camera. There's a rug down there that's there for their reason to. Yeah, they wanted to get out, and then it's like, oh, no, we don't want to hang out with you. No, we just want to be out and wreak havoc. There's a rug down under where I'm sitting that is there for the express purpose for them to poop on. So, don't worry about that. Because I sit over here quite often. So, there you go. Crystal's Zen Garden for the fatties to hang out in. I hope they enjoy. And now it's all nice and zhuzhed up. It's a good thing to zhuzh up for spring. Change some energy. And the selenite is a technical way to pronounce it. I pronounce it selenite because it has the name Selene right in there. But anyway, there we go. You got to see the babies. They flew away. I'm sorry. But That's how it be. And I'm sorry I kept you for as long as I have. It's a very long time. And the baby is grumpy at me because I am not giving them attention. Yes, I do that. Anyway, you all has a good day. Hope you enjoyed the garden. If you want to, make your own garden, that's what I was hoping for. If you want to send pictures, I do have. I'll have to set something up like that if anyone wants to send me pictures of their own gardens, if they want. Um, only if enough people actually do it. I doubt it because no one really watches these videos anyway. But that's okay. They don't have to. If I don't get popular, I don't really care. I just do it because it's fun. Yes. Hope you enjoyed the tiny little cameo that the birds had on camera with them yelling at me the whole time. Sorry about that. The next thing I do, though, I'll have to try to see if I can actually have them hanging out more. I do got an idea for next month. I'm pretty sure the 3 people that watch these videos will enjoy next month's video because I already know what I'm doing next month. Forgive me a cruel cackle. Alright. You guys have a good one.